kind of change things up a little bit. I got these headphones on. They ain't even plugged in. I just got them on. I was trying to see if I could adjust them. I can't do it this format. This one, I'm going straight off YouTube. There's no interface software going on. Like usually when I go up, I usually go up through OBS, that streaming software. So I ain't got that. I'm going straight on YouTube. I just got the phone up, couple lights up, and it's just me rocking out, rock out to my sock out. Y'all know what it is. But this is King Sam, the dirt bag. If you heard something crazy about me, it's probably true. It's probably true. And you know, I just want to give it to y'all. So if you want the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. Matter of fact, y'all can't handle the truth. Court is in session. Today I just wanted to talk about skeletons in your closet, man. Skeletons in your closet. As you can see all around, social media, people did stuff and it's coming out. And it's biting them in they behind. It's biting. And a lot of times you might have had a past, you might have did some wild things, you might have been in a place in your life where you wasn't functioning at your highest level. And you done did things that you might have been ashamed of, you might not be proud of, you might even take them back if you could at this moment, but when you did it, your mind just went right. Your mind went right. So, I just wanted to, get into some of this stuff right here, man, because sometimes you might be in a situation where you look back, you wouldn't have did it. If you was placed in that same situation now, you might have not did it. You might have not did those things, but you went about doing them. And it's like, what can you do? What can you do when you did something bad? A lot of people say, man, you got to put the good out there with the bad. But sometimes you don't, you do all that, but you still ain't trying to fess up to what you did because it might carry some heavy implications to it. So, I wanted to get into that right there, man. Matter of fact, some people that did things in their past that they might not even be into no more. Like, I've been a part of the street element before. I won't know heavy. People know me around my city, but I ain't spread out through the whole 757 of Virginia or the whole East Coast and nothing like that. And I did some things, in my past that I wish I wouldn't have did. I wish I wouldn't have did. I wish I wouldn't have did. Not only that, as far as relationships and stuff like that, I've done things that I wish I wouldn't have did. Does that absolve me from it? No. Does that negate what I did? No. So it's like, how do you go about trying to situate that? And to me, I came up with like, you gotta figure out what it was that would make you, put you in the mind frame to do those type of things. And you got to somehow break that cycle. Somehow maybe get you some help. Do your own self-analysis. Maybe get some therapy or whatever it is. But you got to find out. Because the first thing is, get out of that denial process that, people figure ain't nothing wrong with me. But if you make bad decisions or you doing things that harm others, what's putting you in that place? Because everybody don't do that. Everybody ain't out here hurting others. Everybody ain't out here making bad decision after bad decision. Everybody ain't going to jail. Everybody ain't getting into altercation after confrontation. They not. So you got to figure out like what's inside you. What kind of past trauma you been through? Like, what was the environment you grew up in that normalized you flying off the handle, or normalizing you, being like on the bad end of a situation every time in, time out. And you know, myself, I got a whole string of bad decisions. A whole string of them. And you know, I'm just getting to the point to where I'm starting to make better decisions. But it's a whole string of 'em, one after the other. And it was like, man, I didn't even see how to make a better decision. I knew I was making a bad decision in the moment, but I just went with what I thought was my best option. And a lot of times, it seemed like the best option, but it was actually the worst option. You know, I'd have been in trouble a lot of times. I've been in front of judges numerous times. You know, I've been in and out of incarceration several times. You know, been into situations where it could have been life or death several times. And you know, the only common denominator and all that stuff was me. It was me. So sometimes you got to figure things out. You got to figure things out. You got to see what's going on in your life and try to get a hold of it. Because if you don't, who will? Who will? Because you could continue down that path, and it ain't gonna do you no good. Like one of the situations you get in, you might not be able to bounce back from. And you know, I know people ain't trying to. You know, you don't want nobody to preach to you. You don't want nobody telling you how to live your life. So you know, I ain't gonna sit here and tell you how to live your life. But what I am gonna tell you is sometimes you gotta look at yourself. When they say the man in the mirror, you got to figure it out. And it ain't no easy 1 step, 2 step process. Sometimes you got to deconstruct everything you thought was right. Like I came over, so I said, man, whatever I think first, I might just do the opposite. Because a lot of times in my life, I was wrong about 80%. So if I just flip flop that, you know, I can't get no worse than 20% right. That's super failing. So if I just everything I think of first, just go the opposite way, that might be a plus. So I threw that up in the air, you know. And hopefully I get to a place in my life to where all that's behind me. All that's, you know, it ain't gonna never be behind me. Maybe I have to chase it down with a lot of good deeds or something like that because I think I put out more harm, pain, and negativity than I did love and charitable acts. So I might have to go and backtrack, you know, at some point in my life. And I wanted to do this too. I wanted to maybe find a therapist, not just any therapist. Like go out there and fish with somebody that I feel like got some sort of insight on the life I done lived and can, you know, give me some advice or some help or some guidance. And I ain't just want to just, you know, just go in there with anybody and just, hey, this, that, because they might not understand it. So I wanted to try to find somebody that might be able to understand my situation. That's what I was aiming for. I skipped the last 2 weeks because I had some real life situations going on that I had to attend to. You know, some of them skeletons jumped out the closet on me, y'all. Yeah, yeah. So you know, I had to shut down, and as y'all can see, I ain't even got the same setup that I used to have. This setup a little bit different. You know, I used to have a camera set up with the big boy lights everywhere, and I shut all that down, and I was streaming through OBS software. Now I just got the phone, little teeny light right there, little teeny light, little, you know, Philips Hughes and stuff going on, but it's simple. I keep it simple. I just say I'm gonna break it down. But I probably was getting ahead of myself, man, trying to do too much. And it probably looked the same. Like I said, sometimes I make bad decisions, man. You think you got a good idea, you try to put what you got into it, and it don't work out right. sometimes you just gotta maybe just keep it simple. What they say, kiss, keep it simple, stupid. Yeah. But what y'all been up to? I just been working and keeping them pushing, man. Keeping them pushing, trying to hold things together because I don't want to make too big of a mistake out here. So I'm just trying to hold things together, man. Uh, I've been feeling alright, trying to stay in a good headspace, and usually let me switch this up right here, turn this down, see if I can turn that sound. Okay, that's all. A lot of times I think I be thinking too hard, man. I be thinking too hard. Like I get in my mind that I'm trying to do this and say this and put this together and get on top of this and take care of that. And a lot of times I think I just need to just relax, relax. Let life unfold a little bit. I think I be thinking too hard, planning, strategizing too hard, and sometimes I be pushing it. I be pushing it. I don't know if anybody can relate. If y'all can, get in here and like the video, subscribe to the video. You know what I mean? Share and comment. If y'all up here, y'all seeing this, subscribe. If you ain't subscribed, subscribe. You know, if you ain't hit that like button, smash that like button. Smash that like button. And if you want to, go ahead and share it so other people, you know, engage with the page. Engage with the page. But like I was saying, you know, I'm gonna stop putting so much pressure on myself, man. You know, I'm gonna do what I can when I can, and I'm gonna take some of the stress out of it. Cause I think, you know, I've been trying to grind. I've been trying to grind hard, and you know, I've been through a lot of situations and setbacks in my life, and I always felt like I gotta catch up, or I'm trying to make up for lost time. So I'm gonna stop looking at things like that. I'm gonna stop looking at things like that because I think it's hurting me. It's making me, you know, it's giving me anxiety. It's making me feel like, you know, I got an ultimatum. I need to take care of this. I need to strike while the fire hot. You know, I need to strike iron. So it's like, I'm gonna just relax. I'm gonna just relax. I'm gonna just put one in front of the other. You know, just take one step at a time. And I think by doing that, I'll be able to relax. So my main objective right now is just to keep going to work, keep showing up, keep trying to do content on a small scale. You know, I think I was doing too much. I'm just keep it simple. I'm gonna use the KISS strategy where I just keep it simple, stupid, because I don't want to pile on the stress. I'm getting a little long in the tooth. I know. I don't know if y'all can see the grays and stuff coming in, but at the end of the year, when December come out, I'll be 48 out there, Joe. That's almost a half a hundred. At a half a hundred, I need to be kind of not taking all the young boy chances, not going hard, super hard. You know, just let things come. You know, let things come to me. Take my time with it. You know, if it's meant for me, I have it. And if it's not, you know, I let it pass. Sometimes you gotta turn your collar down. Can't be walking around here with your collar up all the time. You start looking like Count Dracula. So, you know, I'm just start relaxing. Another thing I want to do, like I said, I want to try to hunt out a therapist or maybe even a psychiatrist. One that might help me, but I'm leaning more to the psychologist because I don't want to, you know, I'm trying to stay off the meds if I can. But I I gotta find somebody for me. I don't want to have nobody in there. Oh, I see y'all. I see somebody in the comment. Let me see what that say right there. Live chat. All messages are visible. Live chat. I don't see no messages come through. If y'all in there, send me a thumbs up or something. Like the video or something. Let me know y'all in there. But yeah, I was just saying, try to get a therapist for me. You know, I don't recommend this for everybody, but this is just what I'm on. Try to get somebody, and I don't really want a psychiatrist because I don't want to get doped up. I'm just trying to get somebody, and I'm gonna share what I've been through, and I gotta find somebody that I'm comfortable with, maybe even a dude, because I don't know if a woman can kind of relate to some of the stuff that I've been through, and maybe somebody that's black. you know, ain't no, it ain't no genderism to it, ain't no racist aspect to it, but it'll be hard for somebody to kind of, connect with me and be able to give me some sort of guidance or help, or help me through my journey if they ain't never they can't get familiar with what I've been through. They ain't got nobody that that lived some of this stuff, or they done had some of these experiences. So I'm trying to find somebody that I could rock with. But maybe that's on a little back burner right now because I'm still trying to put one foot in front of the other. So I ain't trying to rush that process. I'm gonna let that happen, but I'm gonna be on the hunt. In the meantime, I'm gonna be trying to do my own little self diagnosis, do my own self, because somebody was telling me about you know a diagnosis that it almost fit the bill. Like when I was reading it, it was going straight down. It was talking about me, and I said, it might not be 100% me, but yeah, I think I could, you know, start digging in on certain things. But last week it was a struggle. Last week it was a struggle, you know, but I got through it. And then, every now and then you'll get some confirmation. I was at work making a delivery and somebody was like, "Man, how you doing?" I said, "I'm doing good." And he said, "It's a blessing that you wake up." Sometimes I don't be wanting to hear that. But it fit, because I'm alive. I remember waking up in the hole. I remember waking up in the hole. Waking up in the hole, got to shake the bars, which they opened up for you, but they don't. So I remember being in that situation. So like you said, it could be worse. And I always say that myself, it could be worse. My smile wasn't as bright as it usually is. But I think I'm in a space right now where maybe I need to take off, you know, all the extras unnecessaries, man. Because I failed a lot in my life. I failed a lot in my life, and I made a lot of bad decisions. So it's like, I need to take some of that off. Take some of that off, man. I can't save nobody else if I can't save myself. So, maybe I need to just work on me. Fix me up, keep that good spirit. That way if somebody come across and I can aid them, the wolves that's close to me, make sure they alright. But, work on me, man. Work on me. Uh, what I've been up to, I've been watching the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. The first game, Tyrese Halliburton, he pulled off a miracle, hit the game winning buzzer beater. Yesterday was game two. OKC handled them people the whole game, handled them. And, the Pacers, they're a fast running team, but it seemed like Oklahoma even faster. So it's like, I don't really care. I ain't got no dog in that fight. Who win? But it's looking like maybe OKC. Right now, though, I can't say, because Indiana stole one, and now it's going back to Indiana for two games. So You never know. As soon as you put your money on the opposite team, something happening, you lose your money. That's what Vegas, they counting on you to think somebody gonna win so you can bet against them and they rake in all the money. So it's hard to tell. You know, I would have never thought Indiana. I didn't even think Oklahoma was going. If I had to pick, you know, even though they got a good record, I still wouldn't have picked them. I would have picked somebody else. I ain't gonna sit here and hold you. Uh, but yeah, just keeping up with that. Watching movies every now and then. What up, C. Terrell Scott? What up with you? I see you in the chats. What's up with you, man? I'm up here. I done switched it up a little bit. I said I'm just going small, man. What up with you? I see you in the chat. I see you in there. But yeah, I've been watching movies. I watched that Captain America joint with the black dude in it. I can't think of his name right off the head, but it had the red Incredible Hulk. Yeah, man. See Terrell Scott. I took some time off, but I said I'm back at it, man. I'm back. I was talking earlier. I was just talking about how, you know. Now I ain't see Sinners. I seen what I see the other day. Straw. I seen Straw. The Tyler Perry joke. That joke was super sad. I don't be going to the movies, so I ain't see Sinners. Like for me to see a movie, that joke got to hit one of the streaming platforms. What was the Sinners? The Sinners that had what's his name? Michael B. Jordan in it, right? Yeah, I think it had Michael B. Jordan. Ah man, I gotta wait. I'm gonna wait till it comes to the streaming platforms. I'm gonna check it out when it hit. I seen Straw. Which zone is on? Which streaming platform is on? Cause I'm gonna watch it tonight. As soon as I get off here, I'm gonna watch that zone. Hit me up and let me know which zone that on. Which one is on? You ain't say. You say it's on there. Which one? I got Max. I got Disney. I got Prime. What else? I got Stars. Which one is on? You ain't say which one is on. I got Netflix. GoStream. GoStream. Which one is that? I ain't even got that. I ain't got GoStream. See Terrell Scott. You go. I ain't got that joke. I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna try to look at it though, but I ain't got GoStream. But I did see Straw. Did you see Straw? I seen Straw, and I seen the new Captain America joke. But I can't think of dude's name. Mackie, Anthony Mackie. I like that joke. See, man, you be up on the bootleg jokes, man. I be trying to duck them jokes, man. Them jokes will mess up your TV, man. I be trying to duck the bootleg jokes. Oh man. Yeah. Alright, which one you like better between the Captain America joke, the Accountant Part 2, or Sinners or Straw? Which one you like better? I like the Accountant. I ain't see Sinners yet, so I'm gonna rank mine in them 4 movies. Between Accountant 2, I'm gonna get at my number 1, and then after that, I'm coming with Captain America. That's my number 2. Then I'm gonna give it up for Straw. And I ain't see. That's tough. I ain't see Sinners yet. It's probably good. I just ain't see it yet. But I be watching all types of movies. I ain't see that joint yet, man. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get GoStream. I ain't gonna put that on my TV. But as soon as it come on a regular platform, I'm gonna check the joint out. But everybody I see, they said it was good. I didn't know what it was about. They talked about it was about vampires and stuff like that. You know, that's right up my lane. I watch that type of stuff. But I was talking about skeletons in the closet, man. Like, what to do? What type, if anybody in my chat, what type of advice do you got for keeping skeletons in the closet, man? Like, Do you just leave them Jones in the closet and try to live a good life? Senator Straw, the accountant, and Captain O.C. C. Terrell Scott say he like Center's number one, Straw, the accountant, and then Captain America. You like right opposite of what I. Yo, Jones right opposite of mine, man. I get it though. Everybody to each his own though. Each his own. Each his own. I ain't even see. I ain't even really. I ain't gonna sit here and hold you a lie to you. I ain't even want to see something. I'ma see it though. I'ma see it. I'ma see it because you know it did get a lot of fanfare and it did get a lot of media coverage. I think that joint was at the top of the box office when it first dropped. Yeah, I like vampire movies too. Who you talking to? I like Blade. What's the other joint they had? I can't even think of the other joint where you had the Lycans and all that. I like all the vampire movies, man. I even like Van Helsing and all that. I like vampire movies. I just that joint wasn't even marketed as a vampire movie. It was kind of marketed as, you know, a throwback joint. And sometime, man, you know, I done had my fair share of throwback movies where you like, man, I can't have like, man, Roots and all that stuff. This the best one in a long time. I'm gonna take your word for it, cause you don't be lying. You don't be capping out here. So C. Terrell Scott don't do too much capping. Y'all check out C. Terrell Scott. He got his own page. He on YouTube. He on TikTok. What other platform? What's the platforms you on out here? Put your platforms up here so it can run across the chat right quick. Y'all check out C. Terrell Scott, man. He do his own content. He give out wise words, drop nuggets and jewels all the time. I love to hear his commentary. And he drops short form videos. Sometimes we get on TikTok and we do our own little thing. It's been a while, but that's my fellow creator right there. But I like vampire movies, but that joke can't be no better than Accountant, man. Accountant 2 off the chain, man. That joke like John Wick. They got loose. Him and his brother got loose. The dude from Punisher and Ben Affleck, man. I think they had autism or something. They was getting loose, man. And yeah, before he hit back, I was just gonna give you a little something. You know, I've been doing a lot of digging into my history as of late, trying to find out about, you know, family members that's no longer here from the ones that's still here. You know, just trying to dig up and find out a little bit more about me. Uh, One of the things that I was confronted with is my comprehension level. You know, I remember, you know, I had a struggle early on. I had a struggle. I think I struggled with school all the way till I hit the 10th grade. When I hit 10th grade, I started trying harder and harder to get better grades. But before the 10th grade, man, I used to keep a D. I used to keep an F. And I think I was in the ninth grade. I moved to New Jersey from Newport News, Virginia. When I got there, you know, they had all the tests, placements of classes and all that type of stuff. And they wound up put me in a class with four people. Four people. At the end of each hall, you had a small class, like one or two small classes at the end of each hall. I was going to what was this? Delran High School. It's close to Delran. It's close to Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Pensacola, New Jersey. Cinemason, New Jersey. It's right there, real close. So when I went up there, I was struggling a little bit, but I was, you know, I was doing better than I was in Virginia because I used to get all D's in there, so I ain't even care. But when I got up there, I was, you know, F here and there, D here and there, C's, but, you know, floating right on the edge of failure, but just enough to pass. They had put me in I thought it was a reading class, but as I look back, the class was RD. But I thought it was reading class. The whole time I think it was remedial. It was just four people in it. It was me and three other people in it. I still remember them because I don't think we did no work in the class period. And It took, I didn't even know what type of class it was because they ain't sit me down, they ain't say, yeah, you need this, you need this. I thought it was a reading class, but we ain't do no reading. We ain't do no reading. We did whatever we wanted to do in the class. And one day, we in the class, and I'm sitting there looking around like we wrestling and playing and horse playing and picking each other up. And it was me, uh, this Italian kid, another dude named Brian, and this girl was in the class. And we in there wrestling and playing. I'm looking around, the teacher laughing. And I said, oh boy, it just hit me. I said, oh, this is slow class. This is slow class. It took me like a half a year to figure out I was in a slow class. So, that joke kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, man, I got to get out of here. I got to start, whatever she demanded me, I got to be, I got to do it. I got to go above and beyond. I got to show some sort of leadership. Something. I got to get out this jack. Oh, man. Yeah, man. I said, I got to get out of this class. And, I ain't really think nothing of it, man. And, I had situations with each of, like in math one time, up there, if you get a 74 and lower, that's borderline. And in Virginia, you get a 70, anything past a 70, you up, you winning. That's a C. I got like a 70, I think I got a 70, I think it's 76 and better is a C. I had a 75 or a 74. So I thought I was good. And then the teacher, her name was Miss Zock. She was like, I need to talk to you. She was like, I can't pass you with this 74, this 75. I was like, what? I said, what you mean you can't pass? That's a C. She was like, not here. This ain't a C. This is like a borderline C right here. And I'm going to just hold you back. That was, I think, Algebra 1. So she held me back. And after that, I was just like, man, I was determined to do better all around the board. Because I said, man, I was playing sports at the time. I played football. I wrestled. Was trying to play basketball. They cut me off the team. So I was like, man, I got to keep my grades up so I can play sports. Because I had one friend, he flunked the year before. He couldn't even play basketball. So I was like, man, I can't flunk. I got to do better. So I just started applying myself. But, fast forward some. Fast forward a lot. Now I was talking to my mom recently. I think it was last year or earlier this year. And I was like, Mom, I was like, tell me something about myself. And I was just talking about like just the education and all that stuff. And she was like, they used to tell me that you had a comprehension problem, but I knew they was lying. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I knew you knew how to do the stuff because I used to teach you at the house. But when you used to go to school, they used to say you ain't want to do the work and you had a comprehension problem. And I can remember when I was younger, I used to be struggling. It's like, to me, I didn't know whether it was a different style. Because my mom, before we started going to school, she used to, teach us, have us doing our ABCs and, all types of stuff, have us reading and all that stuff. Just trying to make sure we was prepared for school. But she was a little bit strenuous when it came to that type of stuff right there because she, at the time, she was going to, it was Hampton Institute. It wasn't Hampton University at the time. She was going to Hampton Institute. So she used to be on us. And when I got to school, it was a different style of teaching. Being that it was just me and my brother, she used to have enough time. And she used to just sit there and, pinpoint on us, focus on us. And when I went to school, it wasn't none of that. If you ain't catch it on that first blam, I sit back and be like, I don't know, raise my head like, I don't understand this. How you did that? Or, oh, you supposed to pay attention and, go make sure you do your homework and we ain't got time to slow down just for you. And I had a lot of that. I remember a lot of my classes, it was that. I had the roughest time when it came to fractions and math. And I used to be like, man, what's wrong? Like, I can't get it. And every time I ask for help, it feel like I'm getting, embarrassed in front of class. So after a while, I just stopped asking and stopped caring and stopped doing the work. Man, I used to be so crazy. Like in fourth grade, you used to have to turn in your work inside the teacher folder right at the teacher desk. Man, I'd take somebody else, erase their name. You know how back in the day, when you erase somebody's name, it's all smudged up and raggedy. I erase somebody's name and write my name on and turn it in like it's mine. I won't do no homework. I ain't bring no books on, won't do nothing, won't pay attention. Played all day in school. Only thing I did good at was PE. Stayed musty. I stayed musty because that's all I was playing sports and stuff. I remember my teacher gave me a skunk sticker one time. I was like, oh. But yeah, but it was just, I didn't know. I didn't know, and I ain't really come to that realization until like late last year, early this year when I was just asking. Because like, ain't nobody ever tell me. And I did alright. To me, after the 10th grade, before that I was I don't know how I passed. I think I was passing because I came to school every day. Because in the 4th grade, that same one where I used to turn in other people's homework, I came to school on the last day of school and she said everybody here passed. And I think that was my saving grace. Somebody felt sorry for me or whatever. But I never really thought I had a comprehension problem until, I look back on my life. I look back at a lot of the decisions I make, and I don't think I was really comprehending it. I don't think I was thinking about what's going on. I was just acting. Like in a situation where, some drama go down, I don't think about the consequences. Where I used to didn't think about the consequences. I just act, and then, when the dust settled, somebody was like, "Man, why you do that?" I be looking at them like, I don't know. I thought that was the best decision at the time, and really, I didn't even think. I just did. And not to say I was super tough, because I was scared a lot of the times, but I don't think I processed things the right way. I don't think I processed things the right way, and it made me make a lot of bad decisions. And it filled my closet up with skeletons, y'all. And I'm at the age now where I'm sitting back and I'm looking at this type of stuff, and I'm like, oh man, it's time to start undoing some of this madness you got inside of you, undoing some of this psychology in your head, some of this trauma in your head. It's time to start self-diagnosis and getting you some real help out here. Everybody talking about therapy. I ain't no super stickler for therapy, but if something wrong with you, you gotta get it fixed. But I ain't wanna. This alright. I had a couple people in here. I had C. Terrell Scott. Hey, matter of fact, y'all do hit the like button. Hit the like button out there. If you ain't already subscribed, please subscribe. And if share this jump. Share my video. Share this jump. Cause I just wanted to get in here for a little while. I wanted to do it yesterday, but we had company. And like y'all, I don't know if y'all can tell. The video is still a good quality video to me. I ain't go, okay, somebody hit the like button. Appreciate you. I bet you that was C. Terrell Scott right there. Matter of fact, C. Terrell Scott, type up your platform so people can check you out. I'ma read it. I know you got TikTok. I know you got Facebook. Anything else you want people to check you out at, C. Terrell Scott, just go ahead and leave it in the chat. I'ma read it. Just in case there's 3 people in here, them other 2 people gonna find out where to find you at. And then when the video play back and get in a rotation, they'll be able to find you. I'm gonna give a shout out to C. Terrell Scott. I'm gonna give a shout out to Mario Button from Button Boulevard. He got his own newsletter. He on Facebook, he on TikTok, and he on YouTube. I'm gonna give a shout out to Elise Pro Barbershop. Let me show y'all that right there. Y'all see that? Elise Pro Barbershop. Where that's at? 368 Denby Boulevard. 368 Denby Boulevard. Right there. Is in Newport News. Man, you got him. He cutting hair. You got his son in there. He cutting hair. You got Ray in there, then you got Connie in the back. I'm gonna give a shout out to what's the name? I don't forget about man. Get to the Money podcast. That's Lo and Blackbird. Get to the Money podcast. I'm gonna give a shout out to Jamal. He on TikTok. Oh Jamal on TikTok, on YouTube, and I think he on Facebook as well. I'm gonna give a shout out to Sunrise Kitchen, Bath, and Closets. Every morning begins with a sunrise. They transforming your homes. They making the process of remodeling simple. They got 3 locations: one on Mercury Boulevard in Hampton, one in Chesapeake, and one in Virginia Beach. Y'all check them out if y'all trying to get some work done, man. Make y'all stuff look like HGTV. But yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. I've been in this joint rocking for about 40 minutes and some change. 41 minutes to be exact. I just wanted to see how this look. Get this up here. I'm gonna check out Sinners. Y'all. I'm gonna check out Sinners. I ain't gonna put no bootleg on my joint though. I'm gonna just wait for it. But I enjoyed Accountant 2. It made me go and watch Accountant 1. I enjoyed the Captain America joint. Yeah, I'm about to be out of here. But y'all know what it is, man. I done changed my name from King Sam the Powerful to King Sam the Dirtbag. If you heard something crazy about me, it's probably true. I'm out of here, y'all.